A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
So, you wanna party?
What?
Do you want to party?
Yeah, I heard you. What do you mean by party?
Yes. What do you mean?
I mean, we get drinks, come back here, sit on the frozen sea ice, and drink until we start talking about fucked up emotional stuff. The worst.
You know, that sounds kinda nice.
No, it doesn't. You. If you were intending to use an unorthodox questioning technique for this branch of the investigation, which by the way is tangential at best, you should have let me in on it. As it stands, I'm going to have to thwart your plan by explaining to the woman that we are police officers.
Oh, of course.
Odd. Something about the way she says it makes you think she's not bothered by any of the cop show questioning.
We have some questions for you.
She's waiting.
What's your name?
Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
Did I not say I was from the police? It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
A very common name.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah? Ain't use on my wife's name? How about my mother?
No. You're welcome.
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer, Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model.
An entire litany spews forth.
Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and an inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats and for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy? Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Yes, that does indeed float my boat.
Uh-huh. Good on you.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arlo guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Hey, didn't Piss Faggot and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Is it like a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I. But I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player in a completely trash hostel room.
That's cool.
You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
Well, what are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is your recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the old headphones?
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks? The footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden. The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible. Like a warm blanket has fallen off her shoulders. The wave of chill. The quivering jaw. Indications of a drug high. She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks.
Take this, you're cold.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold.
It's probably amphetamine. It makes you feel impervious to the elements, but doesn't actually make you any less cold.
Why? Why can you take it?
I got my recordings to do, I feel better outside.
I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness, or something finer?
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
No, we are the law.
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
We'll see. I prefer to remain non-committal.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No,
No.
not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
So this isn't yours?
It's Noid's.
Wait, is this Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them, he'll tell ya.
Should you? Weirdos. Sounds bad somehow.
Enough about the church then. I had another question.
Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie, but it feels like one. She's better at lying than she'd like everyone to know.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Let me guess. These rich people are not from around here.
Aren't they? I thought they were as Vachalaire as any of us. Just way richer.
Oh no, they're foreign bodies. Agents of international capital. You only need to look close enough.
Maybe you're right. Most of them do speak 3 languages.
So, what trouble you've gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Wait, what is in Floberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
I know what Jamrock is, but let's say I didn't.
We are Jamrock, sort of. Martinez is called North Jamrock sometimes. Jamrock is also a ghetto, only smaller than Faubourg.
Jamrock is a district of Revachol, comprised of the following quarters: Pox, Villa Lobos, Central Jamrock, Grand Couronne, Old South, and the Valley of the Dogs. Learning is great.
And why did you have to move out when you were young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know, get my party on.
I get that. I'm a major party animal myself. Major.
All right.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice with the dress sweating off. At your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of Saint Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude.
I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
There is little you can do to help her now. But given the chance, you feel like you should. There is something about her. A weightiness. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
I think it's all these foreign people taking our jobs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can tell this was once a proud nation. Now this internationalist bullshit has brought Revachol to its knees.
Yeah, man. That's why you were crying over a hat, yelling about regaining your authority. National pride.
That those foreign ideas messing with your head. You don't even realize you're literally on your knees right now. A woman literally on their knees.
Man, that's because my equipment's on the ground.
I'm pretty sure I've got issues with our young women kneeling in the snow with this cosmopolitan racket going on in the background.
Or, I'm just gonna put this out there. Are you sure you're not having chick issues with some chick?
Perhaps.
Now that you mention it, found these letters and thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic. Don't you think?
Yes, found that to be very symbolic too.
Okay. What else?
They were written in a woman's hand. And oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Come to think of it, the whore could have written them for her lover.
Come on, man. Don't be like that. I mean, maybe she did, but you don't know that.
Feels good, though, doesn't it? The sting.
You're right. It doesn't help.
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is this Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Actually, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. Just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy. His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revershol.
Strike that. The world.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Are they foreigners? I bet they're foreigners.
Could be. We don't know for sure. But we do know they are spooky.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Estelle told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
Oh, so you met her. Good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
85% is good enough. No one lives forever, baby.
Exactly. That's exactly what we thought.
The cage of the rage! Rough blaze! Egg means the situation is monitored. It's relatively safe. No one has died yet.
Right. Other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Glimpses? Who are these people? Secret agents? Stealth operatives?
Better safe than sorry. Anything more you can tell me?
Yes, there's also the machinery.
But this machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What was that about? Some thing watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means? Non-human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Ambush behavior. Crab man.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, and jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Must be. Even Kuno knew that.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could of course be wrong.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
The gesture is super futuristic. Goes well with his spiked imbecile hair.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes on the church. Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Before we go on, what do you mean by meteor?
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo.
Meteor?
Meteo, a country on Muindi. On the Muindi Isla.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital Tilakos by Percentic.
Now humor me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the Innocentic system, no?
they sound exactly the kind who would want loud anodic music in their church.
You're right, they do.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity.
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good.
I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
Two men and a woman stand on the beach, under a row of houses long abandoned to war damage. The words, "Felled Electrical," have peeled off the turn-of-the-century waterfront development. One of the men carries a small boy on his shoulders. The boy looks up at the faded logo. The woman says to him, "Good to see you here, Special Consultant. We're worried about the Lieutenant Yefreto." "Why are you worried about the Lieutenant Yefreto?" asks the boy. Then a wave comes crashing in.
It sounds like you're just saying random things. Love, posse, make noise.
Are we?
You hear a wave crashing outside, not far. It's a big one. The rumble dissipates into the baseline.
Yeah!
I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
You're right. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, so is the Pericarnassian Church.
Yeah! Yakokata, the place to be.
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on and then dance there, motherfucker!
You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if, they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I want to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Wait, I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No,
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boys' breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence currently. At least not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
What's with all the nose of head?
The what now?
The nose of head ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. We,
He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Can I have some? I have some nose problems too.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The noser. Blast away.
I get the nose of it, but what about the engine starting fluid?
The engine starting fluid? It's for starting engines.
Is the amiable speed freak becoming a bit cross with you? Sounds like it.
Relax. How's that extra high ether content working out for you? Does it do the trick?
I guess it does.
You're not completely satisfied yet.
You know, maybe the slight scent of ether I felt before is somehow connected to ethyl ether.
No idea, man.
Did you know ethyl ether is used as a light anesthetic and a solvent and an explosive and for manufacturing amphetamine?
Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved. A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
Okay, kids, now gather around.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Sometimes in the past, I'm not sure when and where, but betrayal was involved. I fell sick and became the shadow you see now. But before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective.
But you still are.
I was good enough in this job to be awarded the rank of Lieutenant E. Freighter. I could have been captain. Imagine that.
What happened?
Disco happened.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast.
Shut it.
What? I have. I've said that.
Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there's still some detective left in me.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
Your girl Estelle is high as a kite out there. It must have been hard for you boys to keep sober for this meeting.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Ike, but you need drugs to get through the days when you're not expecting me.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
I know I wouldn't be as hardcore without drugs. So, does Estelle need drugs more than you?
We know she has a problem, man. We're working on it. She didn't exactly have a smooth adolescence.
Underneath, he is furious she ruined it for them. This means trouble for their female friend.
Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
This isn't the makings of a club. This is a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where is his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker. You have only one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know you pound them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
That nose set is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The ethyl ether from copper slang, a solvent, good for getting actin agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
There's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
In short, you try to use a police detective to set up a drug lab,
That's... Come on, that's...
punishable by summary execution?
It's not.
So what are we going to do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
I don't really care. I just want to crack the case. Do what you want, I will do what I want.
Really?
Really. I want to ask you about something else.
You wanted to just ask me about something else?
Or you can tell me the plan for the church really was.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershall.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
And why do you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
This is it. Judgment time.
Let's do this clean. No speed lab, just a club for anodic music.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for anodic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
What's that about a fish?
There needs to be a club for anodic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind. A grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Jérôme and all the houses on Main Road. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
Wait, does anyone feel that?
What?
Nothing. Let's call this incident crime prevention. But I have my eyes on you.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!